How's it going, everybody? My name's Porty, and in today's video we're going to talk 2v8. Now this is only the second time the 2v8 has been around, but just like last time, we're already seeing some glaring issues with it. This one more in terms of balance than actual gameplay. I do feel like with this iteration, a lot more of the bugs have been worked out. Gameplay itself feels a lot smoother. There were a lot of rebalancing changes, and a slight mechanical change. Let's start with the mechanical change. With the last version of the 2v8, as is with this version, there are clearly more killer players than survivor players queuing up. Or at the very least, the 8-to-2 ratio, not enough survivor players specifically are queuing up, leading to really long queue times for killers. The original 2v8, one of the ways that they worked to try to get around this was massive blood point gains for the survivor players with 400% bonuses and blood points. This time around, they went for survivor buffs and 250% blood point gains. Well, that didn't really work either. Still have massively long queue times for killers, but now, even though the matches are still really short, now you have a massively long queue time to play and a much higher chance that you may only kill a couple of survivors out of the entire 8, meaning you get stomped, which is an interesting way to incentivize the survivor players to queue up, but more specifically, not incentivizing more survivors, more like you're disincentivizing killers. Interesting choice though, by the way, which is also the gameplay kind of changes, or more specifically, that was the rebalancing changes. You see, survivors in 2v8, even the original one, were able to pop generators relatively quickly because it wasn't hard to get multiple survivors on one generator at a time. Where now you can do that, but also speed up how quickly you work a generator, because now survivors have a class that specifically speed up generator progress. Killers also did receive a little bit of a buff as well. Other than one overarching class for every killer, now you also have a selection of classes just like the survivors. But that wasn't enough, in my opinion. 2v8 is going to inherently be an unbalanced mess. The game is not designed around 2v8, and that's fine. I think though, incentivizing people to queue up for survivors should just be more of a simple thing, and it should just be in the blood point gains. 2v8, when it's around, is not around for a long time, and is considered an event in the game. Give a fat blood point bonus to survivors, You should not be trying to disincentivize killer players to queue up just to make those queue times look better. You should be incentivizing more people to queue up for the survivor side of things, which would make the 1v4 queues just god-awful, but I think either way, you're gonna have bad queue times somewhere, just because there are not enough concurrent players to really keep up with 2v8. It's bad enough sometimes with the other events now where they have separate queues, but 2v8 specifically requires a lot more players to go queue up for 2v8 than the 1v4. I think it should be a 1000% blood point bonus for survivors. No bonus for killers. The incentive for killers to queue up is just fun, but it shouldn't be most matches survivors are winning with a smaller blood point gain. Because again, then your only real incentive to not play killer is, well, you're gonna get your crap stomped in, essentially. I'm always an advocate for keeping the game in a healthier, better place. Trying to find a middle ground that works for everybody without specifically catering to heavily one side or the other. Mostly because I play both sides. While I call myself a killer main, I would say it's about half of my playtime is on killer, half of my playtime is on survivor. But with the way the 2v8 this time around was designed, I played maybe 5 matches of killer total because the queue times were an hour long. Even though we've still got a while yet in the 2v8, other than maybe doing the challenges, I'm probably not touching it anymore. I'll probably just keep it to 1v4. Because again, the gameplay loop is not as fun. It's a lot easier as a survivor to get out. It's a lot harder as a killer to get any more than just like anywhere from 2 to 4 kills. Which 4, I guess, would be a tie, is fine. But of the matches that I played, most of them we got 1 or 2 kills. Which for 2 killers is just not fun. We got a couple of full wipes, but most of the total matches were just awful. And I said I only played 5 games, but that's an exaggeration. It's probably closer to, like, I don't know, 10 or 11, because we did have a few queues where it was only like 20 minutes long. But I'd say about, non-exaggeratively, I would say about half the queues were an hour long. That alone is already an incentive to not play on the killer side. But now there's, I would say probably 80% of my matches weren't even a tie. Like, we just got stomped. And you can scream skill issue, but what can you do when all of the generators are popping near the same time, and then the survivors can just get out? Only a couple people can really be in chase at a time. And from the last iteration of the 2v8 to this iteration of the 2v8, people have really learned how to play it, which is good. But that also means that these balances weren't really necessary. I get that they wanted to freshen it up, make it more enticing than the last time, make it not exactly the same as the last time, but I feel like there could have been other ways to do that other than just like weird rebalancing decisions. I don't know. And my phone is ringing mid-recording. That's great. I know this video is shorter than normal. I'm strapped for time. I've been very, very busy the last few weeks. Starting with I got married, and it's just been go, go, go from there. Not had a lot of free time recently. I know this video is shorter than normal, but if you like the video, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, as it helps the channel amazingly. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm so tired.